Welcome into Hour 2 of College Football Pregame Show here on CBS Sports HQ. We're presented by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Make every moment more. Jeremy St. Louis alongside Damian Harris, Danny Cannell, and Cardale Jones. Happy to have you along as we take you up to the noon kickoffs. One of the big games today happening in the 3:30 Eastern window involves ACC leaders SMU welcoming Boston College. And to help us preview the game, we are very happy to welcome in Mustangs head coach Rhett Lashlee to the pregame show. Rhett, thanks for joining us this morning. I had a nice softball question for you lined up, but Danny Cannell just wants to get right in.
I had to get into it, Coach, because when I saw the rankings come out and you guys were 14th, I thought it was the most disrespectful ranking of the week. I started doing some blind resumes, put you guys up against Texas. I think your resume is just as good as theirs. And I did see you kind of go off and saying, hey, the ACC is treated differently. How do you handle that with your team? Do you get caught up in that with them, and do you just get as motivation? Like, how do you balance that, making sure you take care of business tonight versus also making sure you make the best case for your squad?
Yeah, well, I appreciate you, Danny, going to bat for what you believe, which is similar to what I believe. But, first and foremost, for us in our position, we just got to win. And that's the great news about it. If we win, we control what's in front of us, and we have the ability to earn what we think is out there. And if we don't, then, we don't deserve it. So we haven't really worried much about our situation, whether we're ranked 14th, 13th, or whatnot. And internally, our guys know, they have devices, they check it. Hopefully it's been motivating. We've done our best all year to just stay focused on we've got to win this week. And that's kind of the situation we're in, and if we can continue to win, our situation might change. And luckily we can control that. With regards to what I said about our conference, I just think it's hard 2 weeks into the rankings with a month left to go to just automatically assume that one conference is going to get 4 teams and the other 2 conferences are going to each get 1. Like, how about we let us play it all out? And if that's the way it goes, then that's the way it goes. But I just think it's really early in the process to kind of put everybody in positions that kind of make everybody believe, hey, this is a 1 bid league, this is a 1 bid league, oh, this is a 4 bid league, and yet this league has a losing record against this 1 bid league in head-to-head matchups this year. That was really my point. Like, let us play it out. Let's not let the rankings be so one-sided so early. But, hey, at the end of the day, we got to go out and win, or it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Damian. These SEC guys, Coach, they're trying to get not 4, they're trying to get 7.
Different discussion.
Hey, to be clear, I'm not talking about the SEC.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We'll keep the SEC out of our mouths. But, Coach, Kevin Jennings has showed such improvement from the beginning of the season until now. What have you seen from him, whether it's at practice, whether it's in the meeting room, whether it's just one-on-one encounters with him? What do you think is allowing him to improve at the rate that we've seen and allow him to be such a catalyst for your offense and, being one of the top teams in the ACC?
Well, what I've seen that's allowed him to play the way he's played is consistency and humility. He's not changed who he is. Kevin's a humble guy. He's got a lot of confidence in himself. His teammates have a lot of confidence in him. We always felt like he had just enormous ability, that he would just get better and better and better, and he's done that, I think, because he's kind of just stayed true to who he is. He's not let moments get big or, get ahead of himself. And, I was really most proud of him. He'd been playing really, really well. And probably his first adversity in his career was at Duke when we turned it over 6 times and somehow found a way to win. And then he responded the next week against Pitt with a 300-yard game and no turnovers and played really well. So he's just been really consistent. I think he's stayed true to who he is and hadn't really got caught up in all the hype around him.
After that Duke game, because a lot of people look at wins whenever you turn the ball over 6 times and think you just escaped and you lucked out into winning that game. What was your message to your team? Because I've been in games where you turn the ball over a lot, but you have to find a way to win. What was your message to your team after finding a way to get a win on the road, turning the ball over 6 times?
Well, first and foremost, let's not try that again, because I think the numbers tell you it's not going to go our way next time. But, no, to your point, we actually played a pretty good game, but we had 6 turnovers, and that just kind of washed everything away and really put us in a position where there was 3 or 4 times we should have lost. And so what it did show is our guys have a lot of grit, and they'll keep playing and competing no matter what the situation looks like. Now, that doesn't always mean that it's going to go your way, but there was 3 or 4 times in that fourth quarter and overtime that we could have just said, man, it is just not our night. We're going to let this one go and regroup next week. And they kind of refused to lose and give into that. So I think we learned a lot about ourselves in that moment.
Coach, BC's coming into town. They made a switch at quarterback to Grayson James. How do you prepare for that defensively with not a lot of tape to go by?
Yeah, I mean, that does change things, I think, for them a little bit, in terms of, Thomas was just incredibly tough to get down in extended plays. At the same time, I think Grayson probably plays more how Bill O'Brien wants to play. And they ran for over 300 yards last week. So it doesn't really matter who the quarterback is. If they could turn around and hand the ball off and run for 300 yards, we better stop the run. And we better stop the run so they don't take control of the game. And then offensively, we've got to value the football and not give them short fields and make them earn everything.
SMU head coach Rhett Lashlee joining us here on the College Football Pregame Show. Rhett, thanks for taking the time for us today. Good luck today and good luck the rest of the way.